It's time for the King's Court, the Nashua Telegraph's sports podcast featuring Tom King.
And it's another edition of the King's Court. Tom King along with George Sione, my jousting partner, the man from the pool, the man from the gym. Where else are we going to see pictures of George? That's what I want to know.
Not the tanning booth.
I hope not.
No.
If that happens, I'm out of here.
I don't believe in tanning booths. If you're not going to tan in the sun, don't go to a tanning booth.
Yeah,
they're worse for you anyways.
Yeah, they are. They are. But I don't want to see any more pictures. No, please.
You end up
You
with,
don't
the,
want
you end
to
up with
do
the
it.
skin like the
See,
lady
you
on
do it because
Something About Mary.
You do it to get even with me for all the menus from Foxborough that I keep sending you when I'm down there. Anyway, we're not going to talk too much about Foxborough this week. We're going to talk about the Boston Red Sox. Your Boston Red Sox. Okay, because they're not mine.
Why are they my Boston?
Because I'm not a Red Sox fan. All right? Your Boston Red Sox have an owner and a general manager and a manager, okay? They've all three have had significant things to say in the last week. I'll take the owner first. The owner says the GM and the manager are safe. And you know what? I agree with him. I don't see a reason to get rid of them. Everybody stinks in that division. Misery loves company. Why not just keep it the way it is?
Yeah, I don't understand how I don't understand many of the owners of these franchises in New England right now. And Henry is one of the ones I haven't understood for a while. Mm-hmm. And when he comes out the other day, and first of all, he has two media sessions, one with the print media, one with like radio and TV. It's like that way he doesn't get all of his comments that are in the print filmed
the print
or
recorded, show up in the press box
as opposed
and
to
they're all there.
You're having like two separate things. So you can try and sneak something by one group and not into another group.
Do you agree with what he said?
Well, the fact that like he's asked, did we spend the money on the right things in the off season? No, maybe not. I don't think so. Well, then the general manager's safe? Okay, well, I don't understand it.
I don't think the general manager did a bad job of putting his team together.
Oh, he did a great job.
Great job with pitching. Bad of a job.
You know what? He didn't do that bad in the offseason, but then what does he do like within the first month of the regular season? He gives a number 4 or 5 starting pitcher the money they wouldn't give to John Lester, who's a number 1 pitcher.
Rick Porcello.
Hello.
Well, he didn't give that much money to Porcello. Not as much as Lester's money.
Look at what the annual cost would be. I mean, it was what Lester was originally looking for, and they could have got Lester.
I wouldn't have given Lester the money. You don't give a left-handed pitcher in his early 30s a 7-year deal. It kills you.
Everybody gives left-handed pitchers that much money. That's the market. That's the market, Tom.
I don't care about the market.
Tom, you're talking about the Boston Red Sox, not the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You don't give them that kind of money.
You pay for players past the time that they actually perform for you.
They have got a pitcher on the mound today in King Edward who will.
Do you really think he's their savior?
I think he will make them forget all about John
Give me a freaking break, all right? Seriously, look at the team.
Do it.
Tom, you're a big market team. You don't pay for all the years that they're going to actually perform for you. You're paying down the damn road.
Do not sign
you
up
pay
for that
for
money.
now.
Do you pay for Ortiz for all that money?
I wouldn't have extended Ortiz the last time.
You're paying for now?
I don't give a crap about a DH. I want pitching.
I don't think you do it for a guy who's in his early 30s to give him 7 years. I think that's just it.
For 4 to 5 years, he'll be pitching for you. Whether he's number 1 for the first 3, he's number 1 for the first 3, and then he's your 3rd or 4th. He's not any worse than any of the damn fools you got on the mound now. From number 1 to number 6, a 6-man rotation.
One of them.
Oh, Tom,
in his last 4 starts.
Tom, get your head out of your ass.
Of 1.47.
Seriously, get your head out of your backside,
I don't do
please.
it. I don't do it.
Oh, my God.
I just don't do it.
You have to be kidding me.
No, I don't do it. George, I don't
I feel sick right now. I feel like I was in the pool too long in the sun.
I think you were.
You're making me sick right now.
I think you were. The one
you didn't want them to sign him because you don't like the Red Sox.
That's true, but the one mistake that I think that they made was the one trade where they got snookered was the Lackey for...
well, Lackey already said he wasn't going to... He made it sound like he wasn't going to pitch for them for that much anyway.
The 2 guys they got, Alan Craig with a bum ankle, okay, and Joe Kelly, who I think is better suited to be a reliever.
He should be in the bullpen.
I think he's a better closer or a setup man because
absolutely.
all he has to do is stand by and just wing it.
Yeah, he's obviously as far as their starters go, he throws the hardest. He should be a 7th, 8th inning guy.
King Edward will make you forget all about
Edward.
John Lester.
Not stop with this King stuff.
You got King Felix, now the Red Sox have King Lester. We'll talk about some other Kings. Well, not the LA Kings because they're not in the Stanley Cup Finals, but we'll talk about the Stanley Cup Finals when I come back and my New York Rangers are all done. That's great. That was And it's hockey time, even though it's June, although it's been hockey weather all week.
I'm still trying to calm down.
George, you gotta calm down. All right, there's no left-handed pitchers in hockey, so you'd be happy. All
There's
right.
There's no goal scoring in Boston either.
That's right. We'll take one thing before we go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Claude Julien, the Bruins are still trying to decide this. All right. Look, either go with him or you don't go with him. Don't give him a 5-game trial in October.
You know what? The more and
that
more I
much
think
we
about
agree
this,
on.
The more and more I think about this. Originally, I was like, you should have just fired him right away with Chiarelli, which would have made sense if you're going to get rid of him. I think that what Sweeney and Neely want to do is, I mean, we've talked about this plenty of times before, where their roster, their team, all of a sudden went from what it was in 2011 to a tweener team, where like it's like between being that defensive, hard-hitting, checking team to like trying to play offense, but like you're stuck in the middle because the guys that maybe try to play offense are younger and they're not as up to
You know
the
why?
level.
You know why?
And you're stuck there in the
They
middle.
can't afford the
Right.
high end.
You can't really do.
defensive
You
guys.
can't do anything
Right.
else.
Right.
But and so I think what they're going to try and do over the next couple of years, or the next 3 years or so, is a transition to go from that trap defensive style into the more modern NHL style. So why not keep Julien? Why pay why pay him 3 years and have another coach come in?
That's the only reason Claude Julien is there. They signed
already
him to
paying
an
him.
extension.
Yes.
They're paying him. That's why he's there. They don't want to have to
It's
pay
a waste
him.
of money.
That's right. But the thing is, Neely doesn't
I don't think he's
like,
going to be here for 3 years.
Neely
though.
doesn't like him. Sweeney is like, whatever you want, Cam. They should have made the move. I don't think he deserves to get fired. I didn't think Chiarelli deserved to get fired.
I think he's going to be here.
But
I think he's going to be here this
not gonna
entire
work.
season.
Not gonna
I
work.
think he will be here this entire season.
I don't think he lasts.
Because I think it's going to be considered a transition year where they're trying to play with the roster over the next year or two. And I think this year, going into next year, is when
they don't win. He's done, and it's that simple. And they've got.
And with this group, they're not going to win.
And that's just it. If they're 5-5 after 10 games, or 4-6, whatever, they're going to get.
And you know what? That actually, because I think there's a lot of fans that actually are on Julian's side. So if they start off bad and they get halfway point, there's going to be like people that say, "Nah, get rid of him."
Yeah, that's just it's a fait accompli.
It makes it easier for them.
It's a fait accompli, but they're wasting time and they're wasting and the whole thing.
Well, they don't have resources either. So.
Well, I mean, I think they got the guy in Providence they want to bring up.
Yeah.
Now, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, Chicago and how did that happen?
Man, well, those were some great overtime games, weren't they?
I mean, the Rangers couldn't even get to overtime. It was just they couldn't score. But Tampa against Chicago, I said it earlier. I said Chicago is, to me, the best team in the National Hockey League.
But
now,
you didn't think they were going to make it?
I think they were going to make it. But I thought that overall they were the best team in the NHL. I thought Anaheim was going to win it.
Yeah.
Before they even played Chicago. But Chicago's got the solid players. They've got Taves, and they've got a bunch of other guys that are really good that have been together for a long time.
And Kane, who right now might
Patrick
be
Kane,
he might be on the way to the Conn Smythe this year.
He won the trophy for the MVP, back in when they beat the Bruins.
And what did I tell you during the first series? I wanted Nashville to get there, but what did I tell you? The winner of the Stanley Cup is coming out of the Nashville-Chicago series.
Chicago series.
So
All right, George. All right.
I'm sticking with Chicago.
All right. I'm going to say Chicago's going to win too. I don't think Tampa's got the hockey smarts to be able to do it. Although they played a great
a lot of
defensive
talent.
game.
They have plenty of talent.
Yep. And I think Chicago's just got that veteran guile. Switch really quickly to the NBA. You've got LeBron against Golden State. The smartest man in pro basketball, Steve Kerr, again. The coach, I think he makes all the difference. He's got the MVP.
Against the biggest egomaniac in the NBA.
Exactly, the biggest ego. I think Cleveland's injuries keep them from winning it. Had they had the healthy guys in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, I think they win this series.
Yeah, well, I think Golden State's deep.
They are much more than just a 3-point shooting team.
Yeah, that's all people say is, a 3-point shooting team doesn't win. They're definitely a lot deeper than people think.
They're definitely good, and I think I'm going to say in the Stanley Cup Finals, Chicago in 6, and I'm going to say in the NBA Finals, Golden State in 6. That's my pick.
6 and 6.
6 and 6. And don't forget, the NBA is not 2-3-2 anymore. It's 2-2.
No,
Go back
it's
to
the way it should
1-1-1.
be. It's the way it should be.
Exactly. We agree on that.
And
the other thing we don't agree on, I say Roger Goodell should hear Tom Brady's appeal.
Yeah, we've talked about this ad nauseum.
And he is going to hear it.
He's going to hear it.
And we won't talk about that for another couple of weeks.
Brady's already guilty, so whatever.
It's not until the end of the month. All right? But the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals starting now, and believe me, it was hockey and basketball within the last couple of days.
Chicago in 5, and I'll go with Golden State in 6 on that one as well.
All right, okay. Local stuff coming up. Tournament time for the high schools. Baseball, softball, the biggies. I think lacrosse, I think Sahegan and the girls and Bigi and the boys. But for local stuff, for softball, George, who do you like?
None of our teams.
Not even Campbell.
Well,
I think Campbell's got a shot in D3.
I'm sorry, I was thinking D1. And I think the best shot in D1. I'm going over the BG game. I think Alvern has a pretty good shot. Last year they snuck up on people because the regular season was a little bumpy, freshman pitcher, all that. But they have a shot. I think they'll make the Final Four, possibly the final. I just think that the other teams around them are a little, I don't know. They have more veterans. They're a little deeper.
There was the same case last year. They made the finals last year. Semifinals last year. I covered that game against Spalding. Spalding had more veteran players who had solid years.
But you look at this Alvern team. There's a lot of talented sophomores. So for the next couple of years, they could be that team to beat.
They could be.
And you're right.
What about Wilton?
How can I figure out Campbell?
Think Denny's got another team in Wilton?
I think he's gonna. I think Denny's.
You never know in Division
I think
4.
Denny will get to the finals again.
Wow.
I really do. Will they win it? I mean, look at the team they have coming back. They didn't really lose that much last year.
That's true.
They have that just about that whole group coming back. Even the 7th grader that's now an 8th grader.
Who's a player in any of the divisions that we covered locally that can make a difference in softball?
Oh, jeez. I'm thinking with like BG, you have Tori Dubois.
Yep.
Alvern, like I said, Nicole Teague, Sightman the catcher.
Teague
I mean, just a heck of a battery right there.
What about Neild for Campbell?
Neild, I think, in the past, I would say you had Brittany McNullah and Neild.
Right.
Like this year, I think Neild can make a difference, but that Campbell team is just loaded with kids who have gotten to the championship the last couple of years, and it's a lot of
what
talent.
Are they putting in the
you
water?
look at them, and it's not like Neild stands out by herself anymore.
What are they putting in the water in Litchfield?
I don't know. We talk about this all the time because the baseball team.
Ryan Glendy 7-0, an ERA like .60 for Campbell. But I think Campbell has a tougher road to the finals than they had last year, even when they didn't have their big guy Connor Salen, who had been knocked off the team. They have a tough one because they're in a bracket where they have to face Monadnock, they got to face Hopkinton, they may have to face Prospect Mountain again, who almost beat them at home. They're going to have a tough road, and even Somersworth is in there. It could be tough for them to make it to the final. It's really good.
I mean, that's the thing. Honestly, in Division III, we've talked about this, the crazy setup they have anyways in softball and baseball, where they have this play-in round that they call the first round, where it's we'll just put every team in it and let somebody advance.
Right.
And, just give me the top 12.
And just go at it. That's
whatever,
what I think.
Instead of the entire thing, let's go
I
at
agree.
it from the beginning.
I agree with that.
But you're right. But you never know. It's weird. Tournament time is so weird. I don't know how many times I've seen, no matter what sport it is, just one team all of a sudden get hot. Like if they had a pitcher that was up and down all season, who's all of a sudden on their game.
And just vit right through.
If you can get past that best team, somehow knock them off. Then
Mike Lee said to me in baseball that most of the upsets occur in round 1.
Yeah.
And he's got to go up against Bishop Girton in a big game, so that's going to be tough because
Girton
is looking for revenge.
Good game to
They're
watch.
looking for revenge from a 9-0 game that they lost. But Derek Hudson is a good pitcher. He's lost one game, and that was a close 2-1 game, I think. He is a very good pitcher. I think Alvern could make it back to the semis. But you know what? Here's a team to look at is Nashua North. The Kyle Harvell factor. Harvell not coming back. as coach because he's not going to be teaching there anymore.
Now you got the talent and you have emotion behind it.
And that's the thing is I think that they have a real shot at it. Now it sneaks up on us. The Nashville Silver Knights starting their season on Friday at Holman Stadium. Last year they drew about 1,200. The year before they drew about 1,200. Can they get any more than that in your mind as a fan in the area?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, 1,200. Now, I'm not like. What if they said that is 1,200 like the level they want to start at? But they want more than that.
I think they want more than that. I don't like to go 15 or 16 if they could.
I mean,
it's tough. It's tough to do.
I think it all depends on the times of games, how the weather is. I mean, things like that. But I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. The Futures Collegiate League has come so far. It went from being like the 50th ranked league to the 25th, to like the 8th, right? 8th or 9th, yeah. So I mean,
so they've come a long way. So the talent levels is better.
Yep.
So the Silver Knights, 3 straight final appearances, 2 championships to start the league, and then last year they didn't get out of the first round. I think it's going. And this year, the first 2 rounds are one and done, and until you get to the finals, it's going to be very difficult to win a championship. But it's going to be fun at Holman Stadium this summer. It's going to be fun at Holman Stadium with the baseball tournament. Yep. It's going to be fun anywhere with softball tournaments. We are set to go. I will duke it out with you next week. And as far as John Lester goes, I have one more word to say. CC Sabathia. Gotcha. We'll be back.
I like fat people.
We'll be back next week. That's the reason.
And that's it for the King's Court, the Nashua Telegraph's sports podcast featuring Tom King.